Come with me. Good girl. Good girl. Come with me. Good girl. So we're going to just review from yesterday, which is I'm going to take a feel on her line. When I find tension, I'll pull, but I didn't find any. So let's see. Take a feel on her line. When I find tension, I would grip, but I didn't have to grip. Take a feel on her line. If I find tension, I'll grip. There. And give back. Find tension already. Grip. Give back. Good girl. It's a good girl. Oh, I'm going to pet you. Oh, we don't want your nose petted? You don't want your nose petted? Okay, I'll do your withers. You want your withers petted? Hi. 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 Okay. The goal is to leave before she thinks to leave, so that way it becomes my idea, not her idea, to stop me. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get her to follow the feel of the line on her body. You're okay. She doesn't know what to do. Good girl. Yeah. Can I get her to follow? Let her get that bug. Go ahead, get it. Go ahead, get your bug. Okay. So see, I can take this down the side of her body, get her to follow that. Good. Yeah. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. Can I take this line down the side of her body and see if she can follow the feel of that? Can you follow the feel of that? Good girl. Good girl. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell her what I want her to do with her front feet. So again, I'm going to take tension on the line. When I feel true tension, I'm going to grip and wait. She takes a step forward, I'll release. Again, down the line, when I feel tension, I'll grip, release. So I'm going to go ahead and tell her what I want her to do with her front feet. And I'm going to do this with, so a lot of times when I teach horses, I teach them with the end result in mind. So I want to be able to just wave my hand like this. I call it, well, when it's like this, it's a turn signal, but if I wave their nose, I'm telling them what to do with their nose, and then hopefully their neck, and then hopefully their feet. I'm going to go ahead and ask her to step that way. So I'm going to introduce it all to her. So I'm going to go ahead and wave. That didn't happen because of me. Somebody said something to you. So I'm going to wave her nose this way. I'm just telling her what to do with her feet. What I have to do is I have to tell her nose to go first because I always want them to follow their nose. Again, come here, here. So my here is always if I'm asking them to come to me. Here. Good. I'm going to wave her nose and point in this direction and see if I get her to cross her feet over away from me. I'm not going to give her any pressure if she wants to check me out. I wasn't going to give her any pressure against that. Ow. I don't know if you know what sand spurs are, but they're mean little things. Okay. So I want to do one more in that direction. So I'm going to go ahead and ask her to come back to me. This time I'm going to ask her to go that way in my pressure. So that way I can get her to stay kind of in front of me. But I don't want to guide her yet in that direction. So I'm just trying to, like, as far as my next lesson with her. So I might go ahead and, I haven't removed that tension, but I'm also not pulling. Good. Okay, so can I wave her nose away and get her feet to cross over in that direction? They can cross in front or behind, I don't care. Good. Okay, can I wave her nose this way? Can I wave her nose this way? I'm looking for her to turn her nose, her neck, and cross her feet. That was kind of, I'm going to give it to her. She didn't know what she was doing because she was just bug related, but so see if I can get her to, that's good enough. Good, those bugs are nasty, aren't they? They're mean bugs, huh? They're mean bugs. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. So now I want to see, I got to get her used to me physically touching her. I don't want to totally teach her to step off of me. So I might teach her how to hind yield with just a look at her hind end instead of using physical pressure yet because I want her to get used to me petting her. And if I start using physical pressure for getting movement, then every time I touch her, she's going to think she's supposed to move away from that touch. So I may not want to do that just yet, but I might be able to ask her to yield her hind end by looking at her tail and telling her, move your butt, move your butt, move your butt, move your butt, move your butt. All I'm going to do is just wait on her to figure out how to hind yield away from where I'm standing. Might help her by twisting her a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and, right, that's kind of good. And that's what I want. There we go. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Yes, hi. Hi. Yes, it's me again. Yes, it's me again. Okay, hind yield again. Ask her to move her hind end. So that's something I start in front of her and ask her for. Good. So I start up in front of her and I give her a certain look. And that look, okay, like I was starting to say, maybe I never finished what I was saying, is I want where she's gonna end up someday to be what I'm teaching now. I don't want to later on refine it. I'd rather start showing her the cues now. So if she's out on the round pen or she's even someplace, away from me, loose, at liberty, I want to be able to just tip my head slightly as if I'm looking for a butterfly that just landed in the back of her tail and have her go, oh, did you want something? Yield away and look at me. So that's kind of what I'm asking for. So I'm going to tell her from out here, I'm going to come in there and get your hiney if you don't move that hiney away. And I'm going to go ahead and support that a little bit. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Okay, again, I'm going to look. I'm going to come in and tell her to move her hiney. Move your hiney. Move your hiney. Move your hiney. I'm tapping her with the rope. I'm going to give that to her. Normally, I look for a full crossover, so that's one I will refine. When you teach the horse about like the disengagement and the one rein stop, I want them to cross over. I don't want them to just shutter step. I want them to cross over. I feel like if you ever sat at, like when you're a kid, sat at a traffic light and you put it in neutral, right? And you rev it up, throw it and drive and take off. Well, this is neutral. They can still take off. This is park. They can't take off. So I always look for, when I'm looking for disengagement, I always look for the crossover. But in this case, I'm just teaching her about the idea of moving away. But I'm going to show her all the cues that will make sense to her for her whole life. So I'm going to start out here and ask her to move her tail, move her tail, move her tail, move her tail. Good. Start out here, ask her to move her tail, ask her to move her tail, looking for her tail to move, looking for her tail to move. I should have given her that one, but I'm going to ask for a little bit stronger version. That's good enough. It was kind of a backup step. You're okay. You're okay. You're going to do something about that rain rot on your nose, sweetie. Okay, out here, tell her to move her tail, move her tail, move her tail. There you go. That's good, girl. And you even had a little crossover that time. You even had a little crossover that time. Yeah, hi. Yeah. Now, if you were the other filly I work with, I would be terrified that you would have just charged me and bit me right in the face. So you don't be like that, okay? You don't be a snotty little girl. Okay, so you can look at her tail. Good girl. What a good girl. Katie's running over. She's getting away from the bugs. She wasn't running away from you. She's going over to the shed to get away from the bugs. Okay, ready? I'm going to look at her tail. Look at her tail. Tell her to yield her hind end. Yield her hind end. Yield her hind end. kinda. I kinda want more than that. I still want more than, there we go. I wanted something a little more deliberate now, because she's starting to get the concept now that I'm looking for the hind end to do something. So now, now I'm gonna ask for it to be a little bit more deliberate. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell her what I want. And I'm gonna come in here and support my idea. Support my idea. Tell her what I want. Support my idea. Tap her, tap her, tap her. I'd like a little bit better. That's good. I did include backing up, which normally I would say, oh, we don't want to end on that. Now we're going to try this side. I'm going to tip my head, talk to her tail. Almost. She had the thought. Talk to the tail, tap her, 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 tap her. There we go. And I'm literally like powder puff tapping. So from out here, because it's something that the look that I give her is something that she's going to be able to see from a distance. So she has to be able to see it. You don't start like at her hip and tip your head. So I'm going to tip my head, tell her I'm coming in. I have a very creepy cat in the tall grass kind of thing. I'm going to tell her to move her tail, move her tail, move her tail, move her tail, move her tail. Oh, that's kind of good. Let's see. Let's see. You know, I'm going to give it to you. You're more distracted by the bugs than listening to me, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay, again, from out here, tell her to move her tail. Tell her to move her tail. Tell her to move her tail. Move your tail. Move your tail. There. Oh, that was awesome. Exactly, that last step she did is exactly what I was looking for. That's what I would look for in any sized horse at whatever point that I'm considering them have learned it. So if she can do those from the get-go, that's perfect. Those flies are mean, huh? Can I get them for you? Huh? Can I get them off of you? No? Okay. All right, ready? Move your tail. Move your tail. Good girl. Move your tail. Move your tail. Move your tail. I like that, but move your tail. Move your tail. So now I'm just powder puff tapping her. See? Just tapping. Move your tail. Move your tail. She's doing good, but kind of want something. I'm looking for there, something a little more specific. Not so much backing up. Hi. Ask her to come with me. Again, found the tension. Gonna hold till she gives back to the tension. Then I'm gonna release. I'm gonna reel her in. Hold. When she gives back to that, I'm gonna give back to her. Reel her in. Hold. She gives back to that, I'll give back to her. Good. Reel her in. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Okay, can I tell her tail to go away on this side? Good girl. Can I tell her tail to go away on this side? Good girl. Such a good girl. Yes, you are such a good girl. Yes, you are. So I mentioned yesterday about breath. It's kind of like a signature. I know it sounds weird, but all my horses, especially when they're worried about something, they identify like their safety through getting in my breath path. And I did this with her yesterday, and as you can see, she's asking for it. I do either breath or touch on the forehead. I have a couple horses that don't really care about the breath part. Like they don't ask for it like she just did. They ask for you to put your hand on their head. But she just asked for breath, which is cool. That means she remembers that from yesterday. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Oh, you're so smart. Look at how smart she is. Nope, not front feet. Good girl. You're okay. You're okay. You did good. You did good. I swear you did good. Yes, you did. You did good. It's just a very breathy speaking. That's all. So I don't want front end. I don't want her to come in with her front end. So I'm just going to help her a little bit by taking this line there. Ask her to come with me. Hold. And I'm just waiting. I'm not pulling on her. She's giving a little resistance, but I'm not pulling on her. Just wait. I've found the resistance. I've found the block, and then I give back. So I hold, and then I give back. So here, watch my hand. So here's I feel resistance, so I'm going to stay at the resistance. So here, and now I release. As soon as and when I release more straight, it gives a better release. So here. Good. Ooh, good gut sounds. I heard a big gut sound. Hi. What do you think? Those flies are awful. Good girl. So, can I tell her hind end to yield? I changed my mind. I wasn't going to do it. Good. Can I tell her hind end to yield? Good. Oh, so smart. So smart. So smart. Can I tell her front end what to do? Tell her front end what to do. Tell your front end. Good. Can I tell your front end what to do? I tell your front end what to do. Good. She's smart. I know, your nose probably doesn't... Itchy? Itchies? No? Sensitive? No? Hi. You're going to learn to like that a lot. Trust me. You're going to learn to like that a lot. Not today, though. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. Maybe we're still in the breath zone. We're still in the breath zone. Okay. We're still in the breath zone. Okay. Okay, I'm cool with that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good girl. Okay, so one more hind yield. One more hind ear. One more hind yield this way. So I'm going to give her, yep, good. So by standing up, I'm releasing, right? So even though I've asked for a couple in a row, by standing up, I've released her to say that was all she had to do was that one step. But now I'm going to ask for another step. I kind of want her to make a little bit better step. I don't consider that great of a step. Go ahead. Go ahead. I need you to make there. Okay, I'm happy. It's a little bit of a backup. That's okay. So I'd like to see her lick and chew, actually. So I might ask her to come over here and tell her, you want some breath? Come here. You want some breath? I'll give you some. You want some breath? Hi. Yeah. Hi. Hi. And it's not like I brush my teeth with carrot toothbrush or any toothpaste or anything. It's just, it's something very signature. I don't know if you've ever smelt your dog's breath, but there's like a very signature smell. Hi. So. Hi. You're a good girl. You're tired of this game, huh? And that's okay, because we're going to finish. We're going to finish right now, okay? So we're going to watch. So when I take their halters off, I put my hand on their nose, I take it off their ears, and then I lower it down. I teach them that because I want all horses to think that there's that actual step to it, so that they never like yank their head out of the, like rip their head out of the halter. I like to make sure that I'm, kind of gently guiding it down off their eyes. And if I have my hand on their nose, I'm able to kind of control whether or not I actually take the halter off. So if she were to have started to have kind of a, let me get out of that thing, I could slide this back over her ears and be back to where we can try it again. But if I had already just kind of like taken it off of her, then I'd have to chase her down to redo it. And by that time, she's forgotten what the deal was. But this, by putting your hand on their nose, gives you a chance to control whether or not they did it well and they can be released, or you need to review. Okay, so she clearly is too distracted by the bugs and wanted to go in, but that's all I was going to do anyway. I'm going to get everything ready for the rest of the horses to come in and call that a night for them. Okay, so thanks for watching. Basically, it was hind yields in a rhythmic way and front yields in a rhythmic way, beginning to introduce the turn signal, but in less of a, my turn signal will eventually be where I stand beside her, and if I go like this, she'll make a turn, or if I go like this, she'll make a turn. I don't like, there's a thing about micromanaging, and anybody who's ever worked with me knows that I'm big on don't micromanage your horse. Your horse does not need that much of your help. Just communicate. So when people grab a horse at the snap, I definitely am not a fan of that. I like to leave, slack. Give them a responsibility. But I'm not a fan of, if I wanted her head to turn that way, to do that. People grab under the snap and pull their horse's head that way, or pull their head this way. I'd rather be able to say, I draw your head this way, I drive your face that way. And then I can keep my line like this and say, hey, let's have this conversation, right? Instead of me just yanking my horse around and making it so it's not a partnership. So that's just a thing that I have. I like to make sure that all my horses have a language and a equality with me, as opposed to a dictatorship from me. Okay, that's it. Hi, cuteness.